All right, so let's go ahead and get into it, man. I had to compile all of these things together, but let's talk about my must-have accessories for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Now, this is basically must-have accessories for any iPhone. And a lot of these you've probably seen before. Some are new, but these are things that I use every single day, that I use when I'm traveling, that I'm used when I'm sleeping, going into the office. I have some of these products with me, and I interact with the majority of these, not all of them, but the majority of these products every single day. So you already know, man, everything that I talk about will be linked down below. So let's just go ahead and kick it off. First thing we gotta get into is power, all right? Adapters, battery packs, cables, different things like that, because without any power, okay, it doesn't matter how many gigawatts of A19, 20 Pros that you have in your iPhone 17 Pro Max. So let's go ahead and set this to the side, and let's go ahead and start off with small, and then we work our way up to some big boys that can charge not only your iPhone, but a few different things. So the first MagSafe battery bank that I have right here is going to be the Anker 5000 milliamp hours Qi2 Slim. Now I know some of you are gonna, I already know in the comments. See, where's Qi 2.2? Listen, it is very, very new when it comes to the life cycle of Qi2 2.2. Okay, we don't have a lot of those 2.2. We got Qi2, and that's going to be perfectly fast enough for the majority of people. Now, do you really need a battery pack when it comes to the 17 Pro Max? Listen, we know the battery is a tank on this thing, but guess what? There are some days where you just may need that reassurance or a little extra battery, and I feel like that's exactly where this small Anker 5000 milliamp hours come into play. Now, of course, this is going to be the new one from Anker. This is not the, why did I say Anker like that? From Anker. This is not the one that Apple sells. I did a video about that one. Don't buy that one. That one's trash. But this is the one that you're going to want when it comes to Apple, when it comes to Anker, excuse me, not Apple, Anker. But this right here is going to give you that little bit of a bump in percentage. Say, for an example, you know you're going to be out and you need to just get that extra little bit of when it comes to a top off. This will probably be able to get your 17 Pro Max from low battery mode, probably until about 50 or 60%. And I feel like that's just enough of extra juice that you wanted to do. Now, say you want a little bit more out of this, you can actually plug this in via Type-C and charge it to the actual phone hardwired, and it's going to charge up to 20 watts. And of course, you will get better performance when you're talking about 20 watts. And this is going to be very thin, minimal, so you can just slide this bad boy up in your pocket. It does not take a lot of space up. I used to keep one of these in my workbook bag. I used to keep this one in there, but I never used it. And I actually use another small Anker Nano product that we'll talk about here shortly. But if you're someone who just needs quick top up, don't need much, don't want to take a bunch of space, if you want to throw something small in your pocket that's going to be able to give you that extra juice when you need it, then you might definitely want to check out the Anker 5000 milliamp hours. Just a nice little product when we are talking about it. But if you say, you know what, I like those MagSafe capabilities, but I want to bump it up a little more. 5,000 just doesn't get me the juice that I quite need. Well, guess what? Anker also has you covered with the 10,000 milliamp hours. So the last one was a 5,000, and this is a slim 10,000. Now, I know you're like, wait a minute, T, that thing is thick. There's nothing slim about this. Now, when you take other 10,000 milliamp hour battery packs, this is kind of small when it comes to us, but this is going to be very similar to the 5,000 milliamp hour. The only difference is this one is going to have 30-watt charging, so you're really able to pull that performance out of this when you're talking about charging it, slapping it on the MagSafe. That's what you're going to get when it comes to this charger, and this will be one of those ones, all right, this will be one of the ones that's going to get you from that 0 to 100%. Say you're going somewhere overnight, you can't really charge your phone, which we got power everywhere, but say you don't, all right? Say you're in the middle of the Sahara Desert and you may need to get your phone from 0 or low battery mode to 100%. The 5,000 milliamp hour won't do it, but this 10,000 will right here. And I love this. This is my favorite battery bank. I love my 5,000, but this one, if I had to grab one out the door real quick, no matter the size, it'll probably be this one just because it is slimmer. It does offer that 10,000 milliamp hours. And if I want a hardwire, it would give me 30 watts of charger. So this is going to be the Anker Slim. And both this one and the 5,000 milliamp hours are going to come in multiple colors, so you can switch it up, do all you want to. But nicely built, very nice, doesn't heat up your device, Qi2 speeds. And I would love to see once Anker jumps in that Qi 2.2 category. They already got a few products out. They're on the way, but I cannot wait until I see some Anker Qi 2.2 power banks. So these are going to be my two power banks of choice. You really don't need anything outside of these two to hold you down. Now, keeping this video rolling along, I know you guys probably like, wait a minute, T, is this thing sponsored by? No, it's not sponsored by Anker, but guess what? Anker is all the power that I use. All my chargers, power banks, cables. I love Anker products. And moving right along, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Anker Nano 10,000 milliamp hours with the actual Insta-Cord retractable cable. Now, this is the battery bank that is in my work bag. When I go to work every single day, I don't even have to rely on the plugs that we have near our work desk. Sometimes I got to fool with it and get underneath, and we don't have designated areas where we sit. So we may sit one place today, another place tomorrow. But guess what? This is always in my bag. This is always going to be 100% 10,000 milliamp hours. You're going to have a little button here. The little display will pop up letting you know how much juice you have left. And this just makes it easy. If you don't want to fool around with MagSafe and you want to get those super fast charging speeds, then this is what you're going to want to slap on with this little bank. I love this because this little thing doesn't take up any space, in my opinion. It is super small. Now, we have another one over here that takes up some space, all right? You got just that's my travel big boy. But if you need something small, and I'll say this is relatively small on the grand scheme of things. And I love this that it has a retractable cord. You can pull that cord and it retracts back in there. You don't have to worry about trying to grab you a cord to go about your business. You just grab this power bank, out you go. Also, if you need to charge multiple things, it's also gonna come with a Type-C and a USB-A if you need to do that. Just nice construction, has little lanyards so you can, carry this around. I don't know if you want to do that, but y'all get what I'm saying. It's there if you want to use it. But I love this Anker Nano, 10,000 milliamp hours. But this one, you don't have to worry about grabbing the cord. Sure, the other power bank that we just showed from Anker was 10,000 as well. Much smaller footprint when you're talking about overall. But this, just putting out this cord, I love Anker products that has an embedded cord. I feel like that's just absolute money, in my opinion, when it comes to Anker. So the Anker Nano 10,000, look, love this thing right here. Now we're gonna pause real quick when it comes to the accessories to talk about the case that I have on my phone. And shout out to Bullstrap for sponsoring this video. Let me go ahead and tell you, if you're a leather case person, let me go ahead and tell you about their both minimalist and contemporary style cases. Now, one thing I love, and it's always loved about Bullstrap cases for years, is their leather quality when it comes to that full grain. Now, when you put your Bullstrap case and wrap your iPhone around it and hold it in your hands, you're gonna know you're getting some of the nicest leather quality there is when it comes to a leather case. Not only that, it's gonna be that full grain, so you know you're gonna develop that nice rich patina the more you use your case over time. Now, going to the buttons, this is gonna be fitted with stainless steel buttons that are nice and clicky, alongside the sapphire camera control button that works great with all of your swipes and gestures, and you already know MagSafe compatibility. Now, one thing that makes Bullstrap cases different than the others on the market is they decided to go with a full coverage camera plateau with precise cutouts around the flash and your LiDAR, giving it a unique look from all the other leather cases out there in the market. Now, number two, the second thing Bullstrap is doing is they're giving you two different models of cases. They're going to give you the minimalist, which is more catered to someone who may want the open bottom, especially when it comes to holding it, gives it a little bit more comfort. Or you can go with the contemporary series, which is going to have that closed bottom if you want to go for that full protection. Now, you already know, man, Bullstrap is going to come with that nice lifetime warranty. And if you like a MagSafe, if you're a MagSafe wallet lover, you want to pair these with one of their own NavSafe wallet, which are going to be compatible with Find My. Now, if you're watching this video and you want to go ahead and get one, now is going to be the perfect time. Use the code T15 for 15% off, and that's going to only be for the first 50 people. So now is the best time to go out there and get one, man. T15, 15% off your Bullstrap order. Huge shout out to Bullstrap once again for sponsoring this video. Let's go ahead and get back to the accessories. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to the accessories, and we stand on the power tip, all right? I just got a lot of chargers and things that I absolutely love, but let me go ahead and get into my pride and joy. This is one of my favorite pieces of tech that Anker has come out with. It's gonna be hard to top this for me, but this is gonna be the 165 watt big boy power bank with that smart display. Listen, I absolutely love this thing right here. I will buy this thing 5 times over and over because I love it that much. And you're probably like, T, why in the world do you like this one this much? This is 25,000 milliamp hour. Yes, you can take this on a plane. When I go to Europe, when we go to vacation out of the country every year, this is the first thing that's going to be in my tech bag when I travel. And the reason why I like it is because you have so much versatility. For one, just like I stated before, you're going to have that instant cord that you can pull out and plug in. And it doesn't matter whether it's going to be your AirPods, and we'll talk about these soon. It can be your AirPods. You can pop in a battery bank, and let me go grab the battery bank. You can pop this in to give this a charge. It doesn't matter what you decide to pop in and give it a charge. It's going to be able to handle it just fine. If you need to plug in your iPad, your MacBook, it does not matter. This thing is going to have enough power to get it done. And then definitely when you're talking about plugging in your phone, this is definitely the main reason I use it when we go traveling. Sometimes if we're going to have a long day out, my son has his iPad on the weekends, guess what? He runs that battery down with the games that he plays. I always have this on deck with me. So he says, Daddy, my iPad is in red. I go ahead and grab that. He pulls this cord out. He does his thing. And not only that, it also has another Type-C cable right here. And on top of that, U3Pro on the side, you got a USB-C and a USB-A. And that's the reason why I just love this thing, because it's just so versatile. And it looks good. It looks beautiful, by the way. I know it does nothing for the performance of it, but it is a good looking charger. But I just love this thing because it gets the job done. And a lot of you guys like it. This has been in a few of my videos before, and you can't go wrong with it. So the Anker 165 with the smart display, you can kind of click through the things. You can see the battery temperature. You can see the battery health, the cycle counts. This is a fairly new one that I actually just bought. I gave my other one away to a friend of mine, and yeah, I gave this away, and I had to go spend another $100 and some to go ahead and get it. But like I told you, I will buy this thing over and over and over again. Power button built like a tank. If you got to use it for a weapon, you might be able to do so, man. But love this thing. If you're looking for an all-in-one power bank just to do all the things, definitely go out there and check out this one. Now, the last two things that I have on deck, well, the last three, let's just go ahead and bring them all into frame. So one thing, I love to have a multi-charger adapter, meaning I love to plug in multiple things. This is the charger that's actually on my bedside. And let me go ahead and pull this over here. If I'm not mistaken, let me go ahead and pull this charger. Now, this is not in this is like my Anker little desk charger right here. I did do a dedicated video on that, but I love this little thing right here. But this is going to be the Anker 140 watt charger. It's going to have another display. And I just love, once again, can't you see that I love Anker products because they just know how to get the job done. So you pop this in, and this is going to give you that smart display. Now, while we're talking about that smart display, let's also talk about the cables that I love using. And these Anker cables right here, rated up to 240 watts, get the job done. I legit am about to throw every Type-C cable I have away and just order a ton of these, because I have these things all over the place for my book bag. One stays charged into this one. One stays in my every plug that's throughout the house, the Type-C plug, you will see one of these cables. I need to throw some B-roll up so I can show you. These things is everywhere. All right, absolutely love these, flexible. I've had these for maybe a year now, and you can't even tell that they have worn down. But if you want to plug one in, and let's go ahead and look at the sockets that this power bank has. You have 3 Type-Cs, and you're going to have 1 USB-A. And this is what I mean by a multi-charger. So let's plug this in. 140 watts. Let's go ahead and grab my 17 Pro Max, plug that in. It will basically let you know how fast you are charging the actual iPhone. Right now it's showing just 5 watts because my battery is at 6. Well, now it's going up. You know, now it's starting to slowly go up. But you can press this button to kind of cycle through, just like you saw the last Anker power bank. And you can cycle through what's going on. You have the total charging time, letting you know how many hours you've charged with, and letting you know how many watts that you're currently charging when it comes to what you're charging. So I absolutely just love this thing because it just gets the job done when you're talking about having a multi-charger. When I travel, I don't need to bring a bunch of small chargers, and we have these that we use for just simple times, and we'll talk about this next. But if you're talking about multi-device charging, this is where it's going to be when it comes to that Anker 140 watts. Just love this thing. Also has a little bit of weight to it, but the quality is really second to none. And if you're just looking for an overall simple, hey, look, I don't really care how fast anything charges, you can go ahead and grab this little Caudabe power bank right here. This thing right here, it's just simple. Let me see. I don't even know how many watts this thing is. Let me see if I can see it. My eyes is getting bad. I can't even read it, man. I'll make sure to pop it up. But I think this is just a 20 watt. It's just a 20 watt adapter. I don't need anything too fast because guess what? We can't even charge the iPhone 17 Pro Maxes up super fast. But I might replace this one soon. But honestly, this doesn't take any space up. I literally keep one in my work bag all the time. I think I have a black one in my work bag. And if you like Caudabe, you can match these to the color of your case. That's going to be called a Conductor. There it is. The name just popped back up in my head. This is the Caudabe Conductor. And it's just a simple power bank. Nothing too fancy. If I need to, you know, if somebody say, hey, T, do you have a power adapter? Sure, here, just take this. I don't want to give you this because you may try to run off on the plug with this one. I don't want to give you that one. But I will give you this one right here because guess what? This is just a simple 20 watt power adapter, small, prongs fold up, doesn't take a lot, very small footprint if you just need a simple power adapter. So that's it basically when it comes to all of my power accessories. Let's go ahead and move on to a few other things. I think I have a few power accessories. We'll talk about those a little bit last. But one thing that I gotta have when it comes to my iPhone, all right, is the AirPods. Now, I've had all the AirPods except the AirPods 4 with the tricky little long. I don't like those. I gotta have the Pros. I gotta have the big boys. I had the AirPod Pro 2s and I said, T, you know what? There's no need to get the 3s because I feel like there's not that much of a difference. Now, when I went out and picked these bad boys up, I was like, holy, you know what? Because the battery life on these things is absolutely insane. Now, the majority of the time, this is how I'm rocking when I come to my AirPods. I'm rocking one in my ear when I'm at work all the time. I rarely have both in because people may be trying to call me. They might want to ask me a question. So therefore, I don't want to completely tune out with both of them in here or give the appearance that I don't want anybody to talk to me. So I usually just have one in my ear. And the battery life that you get just with one of these is such a improvement than the AirPod Pro 2s. I knew exactly when my Pro 2s would start to go dead. I would leave these, when I leave at the house at like 6 in the morning, I pop one of these in my ear. Even when I drive in my car, I have one of these in my ear. I swear this thing is not dying, man. So the battery life is absolutely insane when it comes to the Pro 3s. When it comes to sound quality, I do feel like these sound very good. The noise cancellation is improved from the AirPod Pro 2s. I am not an audiophile. I'm not an audio person. I'll leave that to my guy El Jefe to do that. If you want to see his video on the AirPods, I'll be sure to link it down below. But gotta have my AirPods. It doesn't even matter what these things sound like. Must have AirPods. Now, what's wrapped around my AirPods is going to be the ESR Orbit Hybrid. I know I got to slow down when I say that, man. And I love this case simply because it's nice. It's protective, give you that protection all the way around. And it gives you, you got magnets on the back. There's not many AirPod cases where you have magnets on the back, and it gives you a little slot so you can charge with your Apple Watch charger if that's something that you choose to do. You have your cutouts at the bottom, and it has little magnets on the lid that just helps it close so your AirPod lid is not going to fly off when you don't want it to. Simple, effective tech. This thing is like 13, 14 bucks over on Amazon. So go out there and grab it. A lot of you guys love it. Easily one of my best AirPod cases of all time. All right, so this video was done, and I said, wait a minute, T, you actually forgot to talk about one particular product, and that's gotta be screen protectors. We love a good screen protector. Now, we all know when it comes to the iPhone 17 series, they have that nice anti-reflective display. We absolutely love it. We all know we don't want to cover it up, but guess what? You need to get some type of protection on, and that's where the Caudabe CrystalShield, which is all new. They've had a CrystalShield for some time, but now they have that anti-reflective technology, and they have an easy installation tray. This has been one of my favorite screen protectors that I've used so far when it comes to anti-reflective. Has everything that you need in the box to get your installation just right, easy to install, and once you get that thing popped on, I've tried about 100 cases on and off my iPhone 17 Pro Max, and not one has interfered with this screen protector. It's just nice, smooth, has very comfortable rounded edges, so you don't have to worry about the edges being rough in your hands for if you're a person who wears a super minimal case or no case at all. And the anti-reflective technology is still there, cutting down some of that glare when you're looking at your iPhone's display. So go ahead and get one of these. Very simple, all right? Straight to the point. This part does not need to be long. If you're looking for a solid screen protector, I know we talk about Caudabe when it comes to their sheath and their synthesis, but guess what? They now make a nice screen protector that's one of the best so far for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Now, this is another product that I keep in my work bag at all times, and that's going to be the MOFT MagSafe tripod stand. Look, I love this thing right here because guess what? I flip and flop cases all the time, and every case may not have a kickstand. And when I'm at my desk, I like to watch, streamers play Call of Duty. I like to catch up on tech reviews, look at some DDE, some car channels, something like that. And I need something that's going to be able to prop my phone up. So a lot of times you put this bad boy on and you just prop it up like this, and you have a perfect stand for your phone. You can just flip it like this if you want to do that as well and prop it up, and you're good to go. Let me cut the camera off. And then you watch your content just like that. And this say you may not want a kickstand case, and if you don't, this can act as a kickstand case. And even if you do like a Zoom call or something like that, and you need to prop it up a little higher, you flip it up, put it in that tripod mode, and then you're good to go. You can film some vertical content, take a Zoom call, whatever you need to do in the vertical. And you also, guess what? You can do it like this as well. If I'm using a charger on the side of the bed, or if I go somewhere and it's not elevated enough for my liking, I pull this bad boy out and it simply gets the job done. And also, if you need to do a little bit of vlogging or something like that, say you need a vlog, you can pull one of these stunts as well. You got your front facing camera, as well as you can flip it around and you can do, you can do whatever you want to. This thing is very versatile in what you do with it. So there's a few things that you can do. And if you want to just keep it on your phone, guess what? It is very thin and barely takes up any footprint. This little MOFT thing I've had for years. I have a couple colors when it comes to it, and I just love them. It just does the job well. Once you figure out how to use it, it kind of gets a little fubbly, but you can figure out how to use it just fine time. But the MOFT, MagSafe, tripod stand, absolutely love this little product right here. Now, you already know I love me a good 3-in-1 charger when it comes to my MagSafe accessories. And this, even though I said that a lot of people don't have Qi 2.2, this one does have Qi 2.2, and this is going to be the ESR 3-in-1 MagSafe Qi 2.2 charger. And this basically, real quick, is going to be able to charge all of your big three devices when it comes to watch, your Apple Watch, and your AirPods. Let's go ahead and plug it in. And this is very simple. You guys have seen this on the channel before. You kind of know what it is when it comes to it. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Now, this does feature the Cryo Boost technology, because you know with those 2.2 speeds, things do heat up a little bit. But with this, you don't got to worry about that, because it is going to have that Cryo Boost. When we slap the iPhone up here, you'll be able to see it kind of pop up and go about its day. Now, before we get going, before I pop up all the accessories up here, let's go ahead and take a look at another one that's a must-have, and that's going to be the Apple Watch. Now, I don't have the Apple Watch Series 3. I think I'm going to get it, but right now, this is the Series 2. And just guess what? I've seen more people, more of my friends converting over to the Apple Watch Series, the Ultra series, simply because of the size and the battery life. And I absolutely love these things. Now, T, do you use it for all the things that you need to use it for? No, but I need to get rid of these burgers that's in the stomach, so therefore I need to start using it that way. But just love this battery life. They even say the Ultra 3 battery life is even better than this. So let's just go ahead and pop all of the devices up here. And oh yeah, by the way, this is going to be the Nomad Rocky Point band. This band is made, let me move this out of the way real quick. This band is made perfectly for the Apple Watch Ultra series. So if you're tired of those old cheap sport bands that come from Apple, listen, go ahead and get you one of these bad boys right here. You're going to love it. They're super durable. Nomad bands are some of the best out there in the market. If you want to step it up a little bit, of course, you can go out there and get Apple's titanium band, the mesh. I love that band, and that's usually my everyday band. But back to the 3-in-1 charger. Let's go ahead and slap all the things on. First things first, you pop your Apple Watch charger up here. There you go. Flipping it over, let's go ahead and grab your AirPods. You want to put it right there. It will begin charging your AirPods and turning it around so you guys can see it. Let me go ahead and put the watch and put the actual phone up there, and you can see it is charging. This is currently the 3-in-1 that's next to my bedside, and I love it. And showing off that Cryo Boost, as you can see right here, it's kind of illuminated blue. You can see around it, that's blowing that cool air when it comes to blowing it on the actual phone itself. Now, these fans aren't loud when it comes to Cryo Boost, and guess what? If it is, there's a little button right here that you can hit and be able to turn the fans off if that's what you want to do. 99 bucks for this 3-in-1. We've seen 3-in-1s for Qi 2.2 for 140. I think Anker has a new one coming out for 230. You know what I mean? So these are some expensive prices. So this one right here is going to be a good deal when it comes to Qi 2.2 speeds and giving you those big three charging with that. So definitely check that one out. Absolutely love it. And my last two products that we have up on deck, and let me throw my Apple Watch back on. I got to get it back on because I feel naked. I don't want y'all joking about my tan line when we talking about this bad boy. But last two we have is going to be chargers. So we're kind of right back to charging accessories. This is going to be my car charger. Okay, you've seen this on the channel multiple times. This is going to be the Pitaka MagEZ car mount. I love this because I love this grapple system that they have that grabs on inside of your vent. You have to find what works for you when it comes to car chargers, because I have a bad, there's not many that's compatible. I like this one because guess what? It's compatible with my car and my vent style, and you can pop this up. Type-C charger, very strong MagSafe magnet, and this also includes a little NFC shortcut. So when you pop it up here, your iPhone can run a shortcut. I've never technically done that, but if you want to, that feature is there. But just a simple car MagSafe charger, you know, and it also has fans. You can see the vents up here. So this one also has fans blowing on your phone also to keep things a little bit cool. So this is going to be the Pitaka car charger. Once again, this works good with my vents. Your car may work a little differently, but I've been using this one for years. Even when they had the older version, I really can't see myself going away from this until I get a new car, which needs to be soon. And last but not least, let's go ahead and talk about the Anker. Once again, right back to Anker, the 3-in-1 charger that I love to use when I'm traveling. Okay, so this is going to be the UFO, if I'm not mistaken. This is going to be the UFO charger. This is going to be Qi 2, and I like this because it's super small, out of the way. You're going to have your built, you have your cable. You're going to have your actual power adapter. It doesn't come with this case, but these third-party companies do a good job making cases for these 3-in-1s, so I'll make sure to link this down below. But this just, it works just like everything else. Popping this up here for your AirPods, popping this right here for your phone, and then let me go ahead and take my watch back off so you guys can laugh at my tan line, all right? And popping your Apple Watch up here, boom, this works. I like this being my travel because it's fairly small, it doesn't take a lot of footprint up. Normally when I'm traveling, I don't need to have things basically huge. I don't need to have like huge chargers or stands. When I'm traveling, I just need juice to my stuff. And that's exactly what I'm getting when it comes to this Anker 3-in-1. So love this right here. Just does an amazing job. And I think that's about it. That is it when it comes to my must-have accessories when it comes to the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Hopefully there's something that you guys liked, that you've seen, and you'll go out there and get. Also, let me know what some of your go-to accessories are when it comes to your best accessories. But till the next time, I'm up out of here. Later.